Charlie, the football there, finally, the leagues now are back across all competitions. Spanish La Liga, Italian Serie A, English Premier League. Everybody's back. Everybody is back. And then today, this afternoon, some of the teams now had some serious trainings. Chelsea at Cobham. It was a media day. And it was a very interesting time. I want to respect the Chelsea Football Club and then there are lots of things that we need to delve into and talk about on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. But let me turn around for you quickly. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube say, "Oh, you're new to the channel, and thank you very much for coming here and then turning on, enjoying the analysis and subscribe to the channel, turn on notification." In the notification turn and do choose all. So anytime their content drops beyond, you are going to be first to have it on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Again, the Fiifi-Manfred Sports Analysis 2 channel in the description of the video below. Pick its link up and then subscribe to our channel because we're going to give you different variety of analysis. Our place on of Fiifi-Manfred Sports Analysis 2. And over there as well, and then codes saying the two channel, they are going through the whole of Fiifi-Manfred Analysis. So as the season is starting, every day, back to back. There are Europa League and Champions League games, and on Friday there are games, on Saturday there are games, Sunday there are games. Every time we'll give it to you as on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Time to cool. The season has started and it's time to make a lot of money on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Like we do, let's say a big thank you to Yesimo Spare Parts Dealership Shop. Yesimo Spare Parts Dealership Shop. So a spare parts party. In the country, you go to Yesimo Spare Parts Dealership Shop. Every quality, every type, the best of cars, Range Rovers, Highlanders, Acuras, Hondas, Civics, what have you, it's Yesimo that I get it from. If you're in Maboso, you're close to the post office, then make sure you take your card and let them get a job done. If you're not there, then just call them on 059-313-8221, 059-313-8221. Of course, see, if you want shirts, tops, Lacoste, V-necks, slippers, Birkenstocks, slippers, Charlie, everything they can take out on a dinner, on a date, what have you, Charlie, I have a place for you. If you're in Accra, it's sorted. Just go straight to the Tudu station, a flower station or Tudu. Acts of MOB clothing. Will give you the best. Come on. I'm telling them, tell mommy, Manfred, I said, obey young word, you come, I'm going to look fresh over there. Our flower station or to do ornament. Of course, if you are not close to that place and you need them to send to you retail, wholesale, they do that job, or call them on 0200-668-708, 0200-668-708, or call them on 024-7277-140, 024-7277-140. See, Spanish La Liga is starting on Sunday. And I was telling you about the improvements of the Stadio Spotify Camp Nou and the images that come. And I didn't mention that. See, however you look at it, that is where the soul of Football Club Barcelona is, and that is why they are making sure as a club say whatever happens this season, they need to play at the Spotify Camp Nou. And I think that's a step in a huge direction. The little issue, Barca were in there in training. Almost everybody was present. Even Mark Barnala, a long-term injury and is undergoing his rehabilitation, was seen training alone. And that is very positive for Football Club Barcelona. Everybody, Pedri, Gavi, Lamine Yamal, Ronald Araujo, Christensen, everybody in the Barcelona team was right there training for the game against Mallorca. And I did mention the last time, already, in TNA said the Mallorca game that Barca is going to play away from home, already the ticket is sold out. And that is the first game Fermin Lopez scored his first goal donning the Football Club Barcelona jersey. So for Fermin Lopez, it's a game that has a lot of memories. It's a game that brought in good vibes. And again, he thinks that he's going to get a job done again away from home against Mallorca. Something that seems very interesting. One interesting thing is that La Liga, they are going on with the registration of players. And it's the Barca board has given about a 7 million euros surety for Barca Fund to aid them with player registration. They told La Liga Fund that they will be able to provide 7 million euros to Juan Laporta and his team to be able to register the players that are in the club. As it stands now, players that Barcelona have not registered, Juan Garcia, Wojciech Szczesny, There is Marcus Rashford. There's Rooney Baggy, and I think there's one other player. And with the Sheikhs again, I was a little bit surprised because, but it looks as if after the contract extension, Barca topped up the amount of money that they are going to give to him, or something that seems it's very good. But you know, say Acha next week. Actually, next week, all of the Barca unregistered players now that are going to register them because obviously now the Testegen space is there, the Inigo Martinez space is there. And Brent friend Hector Fort, after the game against Mallorca, now, he's going to leave Football Club Barcelona. So there's going to be enough financial space and freedom for Barca to be able to pull strings and then get some players to come get together, or team to come together and then successfully, I'll be able to run on my team. Be one of the best all Spanish La Liga. We see a very interesting stuff over there at Football Club Barcelona. Of course, the only person that was not seen in training, Papa, friend Robert Lewandowski. And I did mention to you the last time, say for Robert Lewandowski, it's an injury. Is going to sit him out of Football Club Barcelona until the next 3 weeks. That means that once a bench friend Marcus Rashford registered at Football Club Barcelona, that means that it gives them a lot of positive, it gives him a chance to stake a claim to anyone, whether Fermin Lopez, the player as a 10, whether Daniel Mo plays as a 10, or Abentia, your friend of Ferran Torres. I think that if Marcus Rashford registered, Barca will most likely play with Abentia, your friend of Marcus Rashford, in there as the number 9 instead of even Fermin Lopez, instead of Ferran Torres or anybody or club in him. I mean, this is a very important move for Football Club Barcelona, and also my brand here, your friend Marcus Rashford, to be able to come in and come and do his things on very important stuff. Immediately, Sankomono today. I did mention to you, say it looks as if Enzo Maresca wants to change the style. It looks as if how he wants to play a game, he wants to change the style in which he plays his game on the ball, off the ball, and stuff like that. But before that, let me give you an update on a brand here, friend of Chelsea. 2 transfers are still pending. First, Alejandro Garnacho. What we are hearing is that our brand here, friend Alejandro Garnacho, Chelsea only value Alejandro Garnacho at somewhere around 30 million. The last time I was telling Rich, said Chelsea don't want to buy Alejandro Garnacho for 50 million or 60 million. There's no way to buy him at that amount of money. They value Alejandro Garnacho in and around the 25 million and then 5 million of add-ons, because it is not a profile at Chelsea for Alejandro Garnacho essentially is a very good left winger, or a direct. He will give you the goals that you want. But Chelsea for themselves believe that as a club, that is an area where they've gotten a lot of quality in our branch friend Jimmy Bino Gatson. So if you look at that area, Joao Pedro can play off that area as well. And so there is no need to focus too much on our branch friend Alejandro Garnacho, especially for a player who has not done a proper preseason. So when he comes in, he's not even also going to play from the off. He's not going to come in and then hit the ground running. And it's something that Chelsea are not really enthused about. They are not really pushing to get a brand friend Alejandro Garnacho. But at the end of the day, there is some sort of agreement with a brand friend Alejandro Garnacho, the agent, a friend Ali Barat. In fact, on the Thursday, Wednesday, in Chelsea airport, that game against Bayern for Leverkusen, or Stanford Bridge, Alejandro Garnacho's agent, my brand friend Ali Barat, was right there in the director's box with Chelsea directors now. And of course, they are planning two things. First of all, if they are going to let a brand friend Nicholas Jackson go from the club, Chelsea know that Nicholas Jackson has told them that if he's not going to get game time or be the number 1 striker and all of that, then he wants to go. Something that I've said it several times. I would have loved. The only reason why I think that Chelsea are not in a strong position for a few things, that the two attackers who essentially have come into the game to come and win the game, to come and 2 attackers, I mean, who have come into it to come and really impose themselves in matches, play well, dictate the pace of games, be the best in that regard. No, much more experience. They've learned the craft. We've learned how Enzo Maresca plays over the last 2-3 years now. That's telling them. So it means that Chelsea have a fresh attack. Joao Pedro is his first season. Estevao Willian is his first season. Liam Delap is his first season. Jimmy Bino gets his first season. I mean, is it enough? I mean, the core of the team is there. Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Tosin Adrabiayo, Wesley Fofana, Reece James, All of these guys are what Chelsea are there. But the attack looks a little new. Even if you add Javi Simons, it's a new attack. So for me, that is why I keep on saying, then maybe there's the reason why Chelsea may not win the league. Maybe this is the reason why Chelsea will struggle to win the league. Maybe this is the reason why Chelsea, for at a certain point in time, they will fall off. Again, I've said several times that when it comes to tactically preparing for games and then going in there, mapping up a strategy to win, there are only a few people as close to the quality of Enzo Maresca. I've said it several times. If you want to talk about a match, you want to prepare for a match, if you want to be detailed, if you want to get the best out of a game and get the best for yourself and stuff like that, Enzo Maresca is part of a select few of quality brains that prepare for matches the best way. So the only problem is about how new these players are. When they hit the ground running, it looks as if Joao Pedro has hit the ground running. It looks as if Liam Delap has hit the ground running. It looks as if even Jimmy Gates has settled in. Is it going to be easy? No. And for me, that's the little big thing. Of course, people have been asking me for almost a couple of days now about Abrantia, Javi Simons. See, the Javi Simons deal, I have a personal conviction. Say Chelsea have already sorted out Javi Simons. I have a feeling say Chelsea have agreed with RB Leipzig, but because the market is in such a way, say if Chelsea goes to buy Javi Simons right now and Javi Simons comes, it means that Chelsea automatically has to offload Nkunku. And if you have to offload Nkunku and the player as one, let me say Nkunku is the number 10. Let them use this box as the player that Chelsea wants to keep replace, which is Nkunku. Then you go to RB Leipzig and buy your Javi Simons. This is Mr. Bayern Munich, Mr. Chelsea agency. Bayern Munich wants this guy replacement. And you've already bought his replacement. He wants the main guy. You've already bought his replacement, right? Bayern Munich feels like, okay, what I'll go to Widia? Or pray so you let this go because Ope crying and your scar. So then when they come onto the table, whatever amount they have to give you in that negotiation, you will take. I don't know if people get what I'm trying to say. I think that, and that's why I keep on saying that Javi Simons is done. And I've had a lot of calls. Nakwame that call me as if I say the deal for Javi Simons is keeping too long. I agree, it's keeping a little bit long. And for a lot of Chelsea fans, in recent times, almost every time Chelsea have kept too long on a transfer deal, it has sort of not worked out at the end of the day. It has sort of plummeted at the end of the day. So is it exactly what's going to happen? Is it going to be the case of Abrantia Freno? Is it going to be the case of Abrantia Freno, Nicholas Jackson, or it's going to be a different case? How are we going to get that deal sorted? I mean, Javi Simons, how are you going to get that deal sorted? And how are Chelsea going to get their money? I think that deal is already sorted. It's only a matter of time. Chelsea just want to make sure, say, Nkunku, Kani Chukwuemeka, Raheem Sterling, at least one of these players has to go. Majority of them have gone. Mando Broya, Leslie Oguchukwu. And you see, the thing is that all of the guys who are gone, they had a low, their wages were low. So then it was easy for Chelsea to let them go. Now in this case, that is not the case. These players that are left, they have high wages. It's a wage where you have to, it's very, very high. So how are you going to get these players to come in and get a job done over there? Or how are you going to just let them go like that? The clubs are looking at stuff like, say, play any wage high there. Then let's reduce how much we buy him from the parent club. And that is what is the thing that is holding on to the Javi Simons. I think it's going to work. See, and then what we hear is that Chelsea players are getting £10 million to share amongst themselves as bonuses from the Club World Cup. Yeah. According to Matt Lawmore from the Telegraph, Chelsea players will share £10 million amongst themselves. So when the Chelsea ownership came, one of the things that they spoke about is performance-based wage structure, and in that, if the team make money and they are successful in a couple of things that they do, what will happen is that these teams are going to make more money. They are going to make a lot of bonuses, and that is what we are hearing. Say after the boys won the Club World Cup, the club promised them 10 million, and it's going to be shared equally amongst the players that were at the Club World Cup. Something that is very, very important. But the plan of the club, they said they are going to give it to them right before the season starts. Just before the season never starts, now Obi Abe checking the account tomorrow, then the money they there. If you go see the money in order, you pick them up, you take go your side, whatever you want to do, you will do. That will give you motivation, make you come back and can't score there again for the league because it'll be very, very, very important. See, next season, the boys will come back, they will come play, they will come sport again. Because Charlie, you know, go feed win just club world cup, then conference, and then talk to the best team. Be normal thing. You for they make sure say you go spoil there, and that's what Chelsea for now imagine say almost person here with respect to players on more 10 million across they're going to share it across the players in team. Maybe this one get 500,000, this one get 300,000. I mean, what maybe that will take care of the holidays that the players went for during the off season. Now, do you know that Joao Pedro in an interview with Chelsea Football Club official website, Joao Pedro says that now the first thing he says is that for him the preseason is gone. They were asking him why is it that they were that sharp. Joao Pedro says that when he left Sao Paulo to come and play for Chelsea at the Club World Cup and they won, from there he didn't go for vacation again. He said he had already finished his vacation. So right from the Club World Cup, he came to England, found a house in London, moved his stuff from Brighton and to go to London, and then started working at Cobham every day. So he said before the Chelsea boys started coming to Cobham, he every day then he they go Cobham. Say every day then he did Cobham, he go work out past the boys, then he will go start his own preseason, he go doing ball work for the pitch stop, he go doing gym work and things. So he say every time then he they go there. Every time they go there. And that's the interview asks, hey Charlie, then that is you say yeah, he felt that he was done with vacation and with his holiday. So what's the point? Why will I go and roam again and go and do another vacation and waste money? I came straight to Brighton, picked up my stuff, found a place in London, brought my stuff here, and then started like. And he did mention that he wasn't alone. He said say he was there with our branch friend Jimmy Bino Kittens. Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. So he said in Saturday senior he was always coming. So he said he has now built some bond with our branch friend Jimmy Bino Kittens. So if Jimmy plays on the left he's going to be the guy with him. He will understand the movements because they worked a lot with the coaches on the ball, off the ball every day, or grass. So when it came to Chelsea to make sure say we were going to get a job done. And Charlie, that gives me extra confidence. Say the Chelsea boys are top because for you to get to the point where you believe strongly, say you are done with the Club World Cup. After the Club World Cup, let us not go and stress and waste money and go to other places. Let us just go back to Cobham. Let's go and work. Let's go and put our head down and then work and make sure say we get success in the things that we're going to. That is top player mentality power from my brand here friend Joao Pedro. And that's why he's sharp. That's why he looks very, very sharp because in those two games against Leverkusen and AC Milan, I mean he looked too sharp for my liking. Say, hey, tell me about how can you go into a game like this and you look this sharp, you are not misplacing passes, you are playing very well, are playing out from you're scoring goals, headers. There was one time he went into a certain tackle with Oluwafika Tomori. And I was like, hey, Charlie, somebody who just came from preseason and you go into this tackle and look at that, how he made Kubio gets that red card. That is smart stuff from my brand here, your friend Joao Pedro, and exactly the kind of performances that he's giving to Chelsea and team, and how well he's growing himself as a brand at Chelsea Football Club and how things are going to go. Today, it was a media day. Today was media day for Chelsea Football Club. Now, everybody was there. You could see Esteval, Willian, Mo, Reece James, Mo, Moises Caicedo, Mo. I said it several times. I see if you talk about a Chelsea double pivot of Enzo Fernandez and Romeo Lavia, it's essentially the best that you can get in terms of quality across board. I mean, what you get on and off the ball, the physicality of games, the understanding and telepathy, technical ability on the ball. Only a few midfield double pivots are close to the quality that Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez in the morning game. And you can't even force them because this is pure quality across the field of play. And that's exactly what Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez and the Chelsea for no in how they want to do their things. They were there. Estevao Willian, it looks as if Estevao Willian almost every time Estevao is smiling. They be Estevao or Sarissa. Every time Estevao is smiling. Every time Estevao is smiling. But of course, it's good for him, for a player who dreamed of playing in the English Premier League and almost about to make his debut for Chelsea Football Club in the Premier League. People wonder, is it going to be another Modric story where he starts very, very high and never really takes off? What is it going to be like for Abrante Fenistavawi? And he looks more settled. I like the fact that there are two more Brazilians in the team in André Santos and Abrante Feni Joao Pedro also in the team. It's interesting. Cole Palmer again having a cold celebration of going into the season. There was also Marco Crea in the set. There was Captain Rhys James, obviously, who was making everything being felt on the Charlie. This season is strong. And Rhys James has said this season Chelsea wants to compete. He said he wants to compete. He believes strongly that Chelsea will be able to compete, and if they're able to compete, then definitely they'll try and see if they win something for themselves, for Enzo Maresca, for the club and stuff like that. Chelsea for OGD say this is where they actually got into take off. This is where they've actually come in to make sure they get to the very top in terms of how they want to play, in terms of how they want to make sure they play their games and stuff like that. And this is where they believe they are going to take off Ewazi on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Guys, let's just draw the kids me on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Right after the Super Cup final, we'll come here with some more analysis. It is some updates. I say, of course, I see. Will come again. Until then, subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. In notification, turn it on the show. We choose L. Until then, I'll see you. Bye bye.